I locked myself into making a video this week and found some time, so here I am. Hey everyone, hope you all missed the old setup, because here we are again. Look, he's got such a funny image in the background and isn't acknowledging it except in this third-person explanation. It was brought to my attention that the last thing I put out, which was an April Fool's Day video over 2 months ago, could have also been interpreted as the end of my channel. This makes sense since I said the mukbang videos would only happen if I died, but I gotta give my boy Tony, the wonderful talent he is, a spotlight sometimes, and knew he'd enjoy this, so what can I say? I didn't plan that to be my only video for a good while, but that's just life, I suppose. I also realize I'm in sort of a weird spot where my viewers are mostly split between those who come for the commentary or reviews and those of you who will seemingly watch anything I put out for some reason. Also Whiskery, who has vocalized under no uncertain terms that he thinks it's funny beyond words when I am just incredibly sad and in pain. Fun fact, did you know that I only ever seem to find the free time to record either after a particularly grueling schedule or when I feel like garbage? So, be on the lookout if you notice any sort of consistency. I'm just kidding. Probably. Anyway, my solution to bouts of sadness and stress is the same as anyone else's, which is to binge watch shows and buy stuff to give myself incremental doses of dopamine, which has almost certainly f***ed my serotonin production and burnt out my pleasure and reward receptors. It's really nice stuff though, and looking at stuff I have always makes me smile. It's also super cicada season, and I caught one wiggling its way out of its shell on camera, something I never even seen when they were last out in this quantity when I was a child. If you hate bugs and don't want to see that though, skip to here, I guess.
That's impossible because I bought my stocks for this much money.
Go back in the ground, dingus. Stop molting, there's nothing for you here. Go back. Yo, look at those little wings popping in, yo. Look at them. Is this thing gonna fall? Yo, hang in there. Hang in there! Is it just stuck like that? Man's at a 90-degree angle. When you gonna leave that fucking shell, homie? Like, it's wiggling his little leg. He's wiggling, hello! Hello? Wow, look at him go. Have you guys figured out that this is another one I'm making in a rush where I force myself to talk about pretty much anything I can think of yet? Don't get too comfortable now. I can throw in politics or worse yet, League of Legends footage for no reason at all other than to destroy everyone's mood, including my own. Yeah, I'm not so sure I am the first person everyone goes to for nuanced takes about things like, I was gonna say the Israel-Palestine conflict or Twitch hot tub meta, but it seems people have moved on to critical race theory and gambling streams at an alarming speed. Most of you noticed already, but I sometimes actually like to see how many people I can filter out, especially those with useless traits like expectations or a sense of humor. It's why you'll sometimes see me front load my videos with a part that is notably unpalatable for general viewing, making it difficult to recommend. I will actually intentionally film several segments, and whichever cut forces me to pause and creates a stress ball in my stomach the longest as I'm editing is the one I keep in. Sometimes it will be an entire video. Now, the natural follow-up question is, why? Well, aside from all this just being a product of me finding more ways to amuse myself, I figure if I purposely insert something that gives me psychic damage, then I'm more incentivized to make up for it in the rest of the video with at least an attempt at a proportionate level of quality. Of course, my measure of quality may just be a little off the mark, since oftentimes I tend to underestimate my aptitude for producing cringe and end up with a net negative. Still, for the most part, those who care to watch my more fringe stuff or can even stick to the end for whatever reason usually return for later videos, which is nice. Plus the weird or irrelevant parts being near the beginning half usually means I get a smaller turnout of dumb comments, with exception, since by then people uninterested in my personal presentation and quirks will just have clicked off before I get to the meat of things. Back to my non-existent topic though, I spent some time watching and rewatching a few different shows. The one freshest in my memory is Bo Burnham's newest special, Inside, where he's able to express a lot of people's sentiments throughout the last year from his own viewpoint and experiences as an entertainer. It's presented in a really neat way, even on just a technical level, where a lot of the equipment he shows and uses is pretty accessible for hobby video making, but he employs in really cool ways I've never even thought to. I'm sure plenty of people have their own takeaways from the special, but for me, it really refreshed my own desire to continue expressing myself in a personalized way that is constantly evolving to better distract me from an ever-present feeling of malaise. Aside from that, I'm still on all those seasonal anime, of course, which I'll probably do a solo video on once they're through. Nothing really stands out so much yet, though, that it warrants its own review, in my opinion, and I don't even mean that in a bad way either. It's been a really good season with lots of quality stuff so far, and it's genuinely hard for me to pick out one favorite over others.
Anime doesn't excite me the way it used to.
Still, I'm not a big fan on making judgment calls or recommendations for stuff that is ongoing, since there's always a possibility that a show will blow ass on its way out, and I will look foolish for ever liking it to begin with.
I'm afraid of losing interest in the things that made me who I am now. Afraid of getting old. Afraid that in my constant pursuit of trying to be better, as I continue to age and shed layers, I'll find that I was shedding everything that made me who I am. What if I find that I had a limited amount of love and adoration to give the things and people around me, and learn that not only have I lost myself, I've been turning into something worse all this time. Maybe it happened to me a long time ago.
So I'm waiting to see how they wrap up and be informed proper before I give my takes. The most noteworthy thing in regards to anime or manga that caught my attention recently, though, was learning that Kentaro Miura, the creator of Berserk, had died last month. It's always sad when a well-renowned talent like him, someone who showed such passion for their art, leaves us, but there's at least a little bit of comfort knowing he'll always be remembered through his works and the works he's inspired. One such example is Castlevania, which I finished up recently. Even with the repetitive dialogue being the worst it's ever been, it was beautifully animated most of the time, and I thought it wrapped up okay. I'd love to see where else the team takes the world as seen in the animated series if they ever come back for it. I also got done rewatching those Kamen Rider 01 movies not too long ago and liked them so much, I even bought some of the toys advertised on this children's TV show. I don't feel too embarrassed admitting this though, since they're actually of quality and are also terribly expensive thanks to man-children like myself causing the aftermarket prices to be insane. Meaning the intended demographic they're being sold to will find it nearly impossible to obtain them, but at least I didn't get scalped, so. I realize that last part exposes a pretty transparent lie, as it chronologically does not follow what I just established, since it means I had to have pre-purchased them, meaning they were ordered as I was investing myself weekly in said show. Anyway, I got these SH Figure Arts 001 and Ichigata figures. They're not as beefy as they were seen in the movie, but you know, I still think they're super neat. I also got this ARC driver, which I am still hesitating to take out of the box. I'm actually not terribly sure why I got this, since despite my Dorito-shaped upper body, I don't believe my waist is child-sized to accommodate this children's toy, but it's got a cool voice, and I'm sure it will make for a wonderful shelf decoration. I also realize now this is just me showing you guys the haul of stuff I bought without actually reviewing any of them properly. Wow, what a quality video. Does this count as a vlog? I mean, I purchased them and I think they're cool, so you can take that as a seal of approval, I guess, but if you're looking for something detailed, check out D Amazing or someone comparatively respectable. Oh, I also pre-purchased a Fallout statue a while back without reading the dimensions properly, thinking it would just be a neat little desk ornament, but I mean, it's cool. I love capitalism and all. This video should be proof enough of that, but I wasn't expecting a $60 statue to be quite so large. I don't know where to put this. You just sit here for now. Just look pretty. I don't actually buy too many things in a consistent stream like I imagine either particularly wealthy people or dedicated hobbyists do. It's usually just spur of the moment sort of deals meant to distract me. And it usually starts with me just seeing one thing in particular that I really want, and it's usually either really stupid or something I consumed when I was younger, sometimes both. But then I get it, and I remember how good it feels to actually have purposeful expenses beyond just basic needs and bills. So for a moment, rather than just existing, I get to feel like a human being again. This time it was this. It's a Pudgy Pig from Power Rangers, and I believe its only function is to open and close its mouth to eat things. So the thread in the show was that it would eat all of the world's food or something. I don't know, it's been a while. And I never rewatched any episodes besides what I caught on the Twitch streams. Nice. Oh, I also made this cool shirt. It's a funny yellow man. Well, maybe not that funny because he's actually soul achingly sad and barely put together, and he's actually me, but hey, Whiskery thinks it's funny. While we're on the topic of coming to terms with our mortality though, and I'm certain a decent number of young men out there empathize with and share my curse, I mentioned it before, but in the past few years I've grown too powerful or too stressed and have been under a slow scorched earth pincer attack from the front and back of my head, doubtless identical to my father and his father and his father. There's no telling how bad it'll actually get. I only know that it's happening, but I'm not too optimistic. So yeah, if you like my hair progress, don't get too attached. I give it another decade or so before what you see is a distant memory. I do appreciate all the people who messaged me advice on how to properly maintain what is sadly a lost cause though. I actually sleep with my hair up in a loose little top knot now. Let me actually show you. Yeah, you guys like that? You get some premier forehead action too. Don't say I never spoil you. Now I just gotta figure out what hairstyle to settle on before I lose too much, or I could just get jacked and do a Goro ponytail or something. That might be funny. Then again, anything short of just choosing to be completely bald could just be interpreted as cope. So I feel that there are two pretty common things that make one acutely aware of how you are aging, that being hair loss and suffering a permanent injury. Also, I guess a third time frame specific one for people in my age group who hear this song and suffer a crippling nostalgia. I don't really have the willpower to fight the first one. The second is almost assured, as due to my height, my knees and back are ticking time bombs, and with third, although I only hear it in my head at the moment, I will almost assuredly be stun locked for a considerable amount of time while editing it in, becoming distracted and proceeding to marathon 80s to early 2000s anime openings and endings, with maybe some cartoon intros thrown in there for good measure, which will cause me to search up and buy more merchandise that reminds me of simpler times, which will allow me to make another video, which maybe you guys will enjoy that, I don't know. These videos where I'm not quite so charged with YouTube acting energy are a lot more comfortable for me to make. I've reserved all that energy for an ending to this one since I thought it felt really awkward not closing the previous ones on anything at all. The videos are all me, for better or worse. Sometimes I get a guest or two with friends or ham it up a little, but this is me unrehearsed, so hopefully you find just me entertaining enough to keep watching. In the meantime, I'm going to unironically do some of those things I threatened to earlier in their own isolated videos. Some clip shows of footage and conversations I've had with friends amassed here and there since I lost everything a few months back. And I hope most of you enjoy them, or will at least give them a cursory glance. If not, it's not as if I'll never do reviews or commentary again, though I'll probably be a lot more choosy with my topics from here on out. Think of it as me trying to assure you I'm still here in the meantime while I'm making those. Unless for some reason they do better for whatever reason, in which case I will absolutely sell out. But even if you don't watch, the notification will let you know I'm not dead. Unless you haven't enabled them for this channel, of course, which is behavior emblematic of very naughty viewers. Oh, let me guess, you haven't even liked this video yet. Do you want me to starve? This is why I'm not sponsored by Harry's or something. Not because I don't upload often or because when I do I only present brand risk behavior. It's because I don't have your support. The truth is I need you. Even though I hate you all so very, very much. Something I will prove with the low effort video I'm going to put up immediately after. I need help to ensure I amass such a grotesque amount of capital that I can continue to recirculate it and irresponsibly purchase stupid, non-intrinsically valued stuff in an endless stream so that I can be happy forever in a fugue state of perfect hedonistic consumerism. Yeah, that might be cool. Wow. How neat is that? Hey everyone. My hair poofed back up and the cicadas are all dead. Oh, and I worked pretty hard on this so that you might glimpse over. And if you've made it this far, then you've also made my day. So, thanks. But aside from that, hope you're all happy. Hope you're all healthy, and I'll see you all next time.